what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Comic Hero Talk YouTube channel. I am Jacob Bartley, and this is my review of Civil War II issues number 1 through 5, the comic book series from Marvel Comics. And this is just kind of me recapping the issues so far. It's kind of been on a delay. The number 5 issue had just came out, and it was on a delay for a while. I think it went over a month without a new issue. And now they're starting to pump them out again, and I believe I heard that they added an extra issue onto it. I think it was supposed to be 6 or 7 issues, and now it's getting bumped up to 7 or 8. And yeah, I'm going to just talk about my overall experience with the issues 1 through 5, and I am going to talk spoilers, like I said. So if you have not read Civil War II issues number 1 through 5, you probably want to come back and watch this after you watch those. Now I just want to show you all this awesome cover. This is issue number 5, the most recent one that I read, and boy, does some big stuff go down in that comic. But let's go back to issue number 1. Now, I am a relatively new comic book reader. I mean, not even relatively. I'm a brand new comic book reader, if you want to say. I started reading about the time the first issue of Civil War II came out. Now, I've read comic books here and there, but I didn't really start buying weekly until around the time the DC Rebirth started and the Civil War II started. And it was right around the same time. And since then, I've became a huge, obsessed fanatic with comic books. And I don't read everything, obviously, but things that I do read, I have to go pick them up every single week. I hit the comic book store every Wednesday. And so yeah, I've become a huge fan, and part of the reason, a big part of that was my first experience with Civil War II. I love it, and I had a lot of expectations, or just not expectations, but I just had a lot of anticipation for the Captain Marvel character. I've been fascinated with her ever since I found out who she was. I think it was like 4 years ago, I was watching one of the Avengers cartoons. I think it was Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and I didn't know anything about Captain Marvel. And her character comes into one of the seasons, and they kind of they show us her origins on that show. And I was like, wow, this character's awesome. Like, Marvel doesn't really have a dominant female superhero with superpowers. So I've been really curious, and I've been really wanting to learn as much as possible about Captain Marvel. I've been reading her current run right now. I'll do a spoilers review about that. I think it's up to issue 9 right now. But and obviously she's one of the main characters in the Civil War II storyline. She's the one facing off against Tony Stark in this Civil War II storyline. So that's a huge reason why I wanted to read this. And also, it's Civil War II. Obviously, Marvel's trying to make a big push for this. And what they're doing is, in my opinion, they're trying to put Captain Marvel on the forefront of their universe in the comic books. So then, when they make the movie in 2019, and she comes into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, she can be more of a well-known character. And I think Brie Larson is perfect casting for her, and she's going to knock it out of the park. Now, so the concept of Civil War II is that there's this inhuman Ulysses who can predict the future. He has these visions which happen involuntarily. He can't control them, but out of nowhere he'll have this vision, and it predicts the future. And through this, superheroes are able to go prevent things from happening before they happen. Now, Captain Marvel believes this is great. They can use this to their advantage. Tony Stark believes this is horrible, and you can't trust this guy and his visions, and you can't arrest people because this guy has a vision about them committing a crime. And that's just the surface value, the surface of this concept. Now, things happen that take it a little bit deeper, and I think it's in the first issue where War Machine Rhodey dies because Captain Marvel takes him on a mission with her to stop Thanos based on a vision that Ulysses had. Now, this pushes Tony Stark over the top for hating this idea and ultimately hating Captain Marvel for what she did, but it's not all just black and white like that. So another thing that's important to that is Captain Marvel and Rhodey, War Machine, have a romance going on. So not only did Tony Stark lose his best friend, but Captain Marvel lost the man that she loves. So he's mad at her for being responsible in his eyes for killing his best friend, but how do you think she feels? She just lost her love. Now, I'm very split on these issues, on this. Well, I don't know what side to take. Like, it's really tough. Like, even in the Captain America Civil War film, like, I don't know what side to take. I mean, I ultimately probably sided with Captain America in the film, but this Civil War II comic book issues series I kind of can't decide. But lately I've been finding myself on Iron Man's side because Captain Marvel is like not playing around. She's being kind of a B-word about everything and just straight up, if Ulysses has a vision, she takes it as it's written in stone, and she's prosecuting people for that. Yeah, I really liked issue number 1 for sure. And then I forget specifically which issue's which, but I believe in issue number 3 is when the big thing happens where Bruce Banner is killed. Now, in the Marvel Comics leading up to that point, Bruce Banner had kind of been hidden and on the run, and he had a secret base. And Ulysses has this vision where the Hulk kills a bunch of the heroes in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, in the Marvel Comic Universe, including Captain Marvel and Iron Man. So, and now he's able to show people around him the visions while he's having them. So they all see this vision together. So all hundreds of superheroes go to Bruce Banner's secret lair, and they bring him out, and he's like, what are you doing? I'm trying to live peacefully. You're convicting me. And all of a sudden, he gets taken down by an arrow. And who shoots arrows? Hawkeye. And it turns out that Bruce Banner asked Hawkeye to take him out if he was ever going to Hulk out again, and be potentially dangerous. So this is a huge plot point in this Civil War II storyline. First of all, Bruce Banner's dead, but Hawkeye killed his friend, another ex-Avenger, like an important character. So Hawkeye gets prosecuted, but there's evidence that Bruce Banner asked him to do it. Bruce Banner put out a video journal that shows him confessing to telling Hawkeye to kill him, and it was the only thing that could have killed the Hulk. Bruce Banner made this, I don't know if it was an arrow or something that you could put in the arrow, but Bruce Banner gave it to him to take him down before he ever Hulked out again. So that was another huge part in it. And even though Bruce Banner's dead, obviously I don't want him to be dead, but I just thought it was so strong. These deaths aren't just deaths for the sake of deaths. They're deaths that have such huge impacts on the story, and I think it's huge. And of course it's comics, so when they reboot it in a couple years, they can bring Hawkeye and the Hulk and War Machine back. But for this storyline, I think it really works, the deaths they've chosen to go with. So let's go up to issue number 5. So this is when a huge battle breaks out. You got that big moment. There's these 2 pages in the comic where it shows all the superheroes going at it. You got everyone, and the 2 sides are both very powerful. And the issue ends with Ulysses having another vision, which everyone can see, and it's Miles Morales Spider-Man standing over Steve Rogers, Captain America's body, holding him by the shirt with a spike through his chest and like blood on his hand. So the vision was that Miles Morales Spider-Man killed Steve Rogers, and of course everybody starts freaking out. Steve Rogers gets defensive, and it ends with Captain Marvel saying, "Kid, you're under arrest." So this is where the conflict comes in. Do you arrest Miles Morales for that vision, or do you trust that it's not going to happen because Miles Morales is a good kid, you know? And Captain Marvel believes you should arrest him, so she arrests him. And it kind of just ends right there. I don't know how Tony Stark reacts. I'm going to find out in the next issue. But man, this is so amazing to me. Just this whole Civil War II storyline and the concept, and just how much they're willing to be gutsy. Even though it's comics, like I said, they can kill whoever they want and bring them back. They're making some big moves here, and I really like that. And obviously I've been praising the comics so far, and I don't know, I'm here to celebrate it. I think it's the best thing going on in comics right now, and I don't necessarily have any specific negatives. I mean, it's really hard. It's hard for me to choose some negatives, so I'm just here to talk about it and talk about what I like about these comic books. And honestly, I don't think there are any major negatives. There really aren't, in my opinion. Like, it's been really, really solid all the way through, and I just can't wait to see what happens next. And I have a theory, not in the story, but I'm saying with Marvel. So I think Marvel, what they're doing is they're setting up Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, to be this prominent female superhero, like basically their Wonder Woman. She's not ever going to be as iconic or as popular as Wonder Woman. I'm not saying that at all, and I love Wonder Woman. But I'm just saying, like, Marvel doesn't have their Wonder Woman, and I think what the comics are doing is making Captain Marvel their Wonder Woman. And they're trying to get her as popular as possible. And then what they're going to do, I hope, in the future, is adapt this Civil War II storyline in the MCU later, somewhere down the road, 5-6 years from now. And I hope that Robert Downey Jr. stays as Iron Man, and they can have Brie Larson and Robert Downey Jr. go at it in the Civil War II. Maybe it would be Captain Marvel Civil War II. That could be the title, because they did Captain America Civil War, and then you could do Captain Marvel Civil War II, and you could have Spider-Man, and you can have Miles Morales in it. You could have the Guardians of the Galaxy in it, and you can do this huge epic again. So I think that is something that Marvel has in mind and in their cards. So overall, you can tell I love the whole Civil War II series so far. It's absolutely amazing. I definitely recommend picking it up if you're a fan of these characters or this source material. If you've been on the edge whether or not to go read it, definitely go pick it up. Alright, well, thank you all for listening. I am Jacob Bartley for Comic Hero Talk. Please subscribe and hit that like button if you enjoy anything superheroes, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, and Power Rangers. That's the stuff that I love, stuff that I like to talk about. And until next time, take care.